Evaluation and ADRA West Central Diagnostic Report. In ADRA ward offices during the 5-year period 2015 to 2020, we have heard testimonies which have proved how the Lord continues to lead, hold on to us, and how He continues to bless. West and Central Africa is a vulnerable region compared to many other places. In spite of the droughts, flooding, displacements, struggling economies, and the more recent COVID-19 pandemic, the 11 ADRA country offices operating in the region remained ready to provide timely support to millions, fulfilling our purpose to serve humanity so all may live as God intended. In the last 5 years, ADRA received significant support from the Seventh-day Adventist Church at all levels. We are grateful to ward officers and the executive committee. We have enjoyed your full commitment throughout the 5 years. Greater synergies were formed in emergency responses as well as in community development. Most of the country offices now have a pool of SDA church volunteers, improving the timeliness and coverage of interventions, and we would like to appreciate the church for this and intend to grow even more in the coming quinquennium. To improve access to qualified education, ADRA partnered with the SDA Church and embarked on a worldwide advocacy campaign called Every Child, Everywhere in School. West and Central Africa Division led this advocacy campaign by contributing over 50% of the signatures on the campaign. Education is a priority in Africa, and ADRA should continue with its efforts to educate every child. The emergency management portfolio grew, and the COVID-19 response saw the innovative use of communication technologies to coordinate and build capacity for the response. There was strong collaboration between all departments in ADRA in implementing the COVID-19 strategy. We not only responded at the peak of the emergency, but we continue to support individuals and communities towards recovery. ADRA accreditation and licensing. The ADRA accreditation and licensing process started in 2015 in order to manage and protect ADRA's and the church's name through a licensing system. The purpose of AAL is to assess ADRA country offices against standards necessary to receive or maintain the ADRA license or license plus accreditation. It also includes the core humanitarian standards, CHS standards, in an effort to reach those standards. In 2019, the standards were revised to integrate industry standards, ensuring both high professionalism and reduce the risk of failures affecting ADRA's name globally. Along with those revised standards, 3 levels of licensing were created, mandatory for any entity using the name of ADRA and its logo to conduct any activities. 1. Start-up license. This is a temporary license which is valid for 1 year and which requires limited administrative standards while preparing to apply for a regular license. 2. Regular license. This is necessary for an office with a program value under $100,000 per year and which operates only within country funding. 3. Accreditation. Accredited offices operate without size or funding source limitation. By the end of the reporting period, 44% of 27 country offices had completed the online assessment composed of 10 criteria totaling 17 sections. 7 COs had not started the AAL process by the 31st July 2020. Angola, Lesotho, South Africa, Burkina Faso, and Chad. AAL status of country offices by division: 4 were completed in WAD. ADRA West Africa offices update. At the beginning of the 5-year period, we operate only in 13 countries among the 22 countries in West and Central Africa territories. ADRA Africa Regional Office was providing technical support to 33 country offices, 9 in East Central Africa Division (ECD), 11 in Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division SID, and 13 in West Central Africa Division WAD. By the end of the reporting period, the operational country offices had reduced to 27, 8 in ECD, 10 in SID, and 9 in WAD. In the 5-year period, ADRA offices in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Burundi, and Nigeria were suspended. In addition, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, and Cote d'Ivoire currently have no operations because the church in each country has no budget for the ADRA country director. Mauritius, Cape Verde, and Central African Republic are processing startup licenses. Development portfolio and impact. Strategic focus for the quinquennium. The strategic focus for development programming was to strengthen the programming capacity of country offices for sustainable development through program strategic planning, technical support in planning and implementation, MEAL, forming strategic partnership with donors and relevant stakeholders, and actively contributing to the network through various committees. Achievements. Program strategic planning. In order to successfully achieve the change goals 1 and 2 and the network strategic framework of 2017 to 2022, ADRA Africa supported the development of 13 program strategic plan, ECD 4, SID 4, WAD 5, which covered 4 sectors: education, health, sustainable livelihood, and emergency management. The other country offices are being supported and are in the process. Since this is an AAL requirement, a number of country offices are prioritizing it now. Only 8 country offices have scheduled periodic reviews of the PSP implementation process. Yet, this is a very beneficial practice which allows timely adaptation of the process to ensure successful implementation. The reviews are critical because the development and humanitarian landscape is rapidly changing. Only 10 boards review the PSPs at the time of approval. ADRA Africa, in partnership with ADRA Europe and its prospective supporting offices, developed the West Africa Consolidated PSP in April 2019. It includes 9 CEOs in WAD and has resulted in strategic commitment by ADRA Europe, supporting offices ADRA Germany, Sweden, Norway, UK, Spain, Czech, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Australia. Meetings with supporting offices during 2019 AAC in Jordan. Proud discussions with partners paved the way for joint meetings where an implementing office met with all its partners together. This was commended by both parties because it improved understanding and joint problem solving. Challenges. With the changes in the industry, there is a great demand for innovative programming which is evidence-based. This means having competent personnel at the PD level who are able to network with research institutes and private sector in building competitive consortia and generating new knowledge. ADRA CEOs have a gap here. CEOs have been developing PSPs to comply with AAL, but with limited attention as a tool to guide daily operations. Some boards have not provided resources for its effective implementation. There has not been synergy between the country office strategy and the PSP implementation and review processes, and this has deprived the country office of a clear perspective of the whole operation. Few country offices have established their PROCOMs. However, some of the PDs do not have clear TOR to guide their activities, resulting in all decisions being made at ADCOM. This lack of internal program governance structure is not consistent with the best practices in the humanitarian and development sectors. The boards need engaged and competent board members to form program committees, and few meet these requirements. As a result, the board does not receive timely and well-analyzed information for effective decision-making. Innovations and lessons learned. West Africa Program Strategy, joint planning and joint implementation with supporting offices. Joint planning between humanitarian and development at the regional office has improved the COVID-19 response and allowed for smooth transition from emergency to recovery. The Farmer Market School approach has elevated ADRA as a learning organization. Offering training in both English and French ensures equitable capacity. Human resources. One of the sources of problems ADRA ward offices were confronted with in the past 5 years is a policy to be set in place in order to keep the qualified ADRA team trained for operations and train more younger humanitarian workers. We have lost more than 40%. One of our recommendations this week to the Ward Executive Committee is to address the status and the salary issues in ADRA offices in our divisions by setting up a commission to manage and oversee these matters. ADRA structures. In view of future plans and better management and governance, ADRA International Board has put in place a special committee led by one of General Conference presidents to propose a new structure in which ADRA would operate. We are expecting this commission report later by December 2020. The 3 African divisions have already taken the decision to have separate offices in the various divisions in order to be more responsive to the diverse and specific challenge the Africa region is passing through. Recommendations for consideration into the next quinquennium. West and Central Africa Division should be more involved in ADRA offices management. Country directors' selection should take into consideration the programming capacity and needs of the country office. Continued joint planning with supporting offices for better cohesion and effectiveness. Active participation in regional planning for learning, programming, and growth. Support regional program strategy through joint networking and resource mobilization. Continue with the momentum capacity building portfolio for program style and ensure certification of strategic positions. Capitalize on online training for rapid capacity building. Regional offices are now expected to manage implementation of multi-country programs. There is need to invest resources in building more capacity and systems and facilitating in the design, planning, development, and the implementation of such. Country office boards need to have functional board programs committees which are composed of competent programs professionals for effective monitoring of the PSP implementation.